tell them. Yeah. Pain come and get a gift wrap. Yeah. Successes only took it like a kid now. Up in there, wide. I'm going across the Brooklyn Bridge. And they become the Flatbush. This is how Brooklyn.
What's going on, everybody? It's episode 4, Flatbush Famous, man. I got a Flatbush Famous vet in the house with me tonight, man. My brother in Christ and my brother in love, my brother in Flatbush, Christopher Holmes. Welcome, man. Salute you, King.
Salute, King. Salute.
Man, it's an honor to have you on the show tonight, man. I'm glad you made time for me within your busy schedule. I know how it could be, and I know you just relocated down south. So, yes, thanks for, squeezing me in, man. So I ain't gonna lie to you, man. The spirit came about as I went in the kitchen earlier, and it told me to let's take a trip down memory lane.
Okay.
Me, I'm the type of person I kind of hide my past in a way because I really don't like glorifying it. But tonight I kind of want to just talk, and I'm gonna learn to be an open book as well, because I believe through our stories and our transgressions, we can probably help another young kid that's in Flatbush that is sitting on that same green garbage can me and you sat on, or doing pull-ups on them same light poles we was doing pull-ups on, and surely don't know his way out. So I want you to tell people a little about yourself. Let's go back early. Let's go back to where were you born? Like what hospital? Tell us a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I was born in Kings County Hospital in 1976.
Mm-hmm.
My upbringing was strictly Flatbush, Brooklyn, from the time that I was born up into my teenage years. But yeah, Kings County Hospital. I lived on Church and Nostrand.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
What school did you go to? What middle school? Let's start. What elementary school, public school you went to?
Yeah, I went to PS 181.
New York Avenue. Okay.
Yeah,
a lot of people went there. Famous school. I went to 269. Nice. And then you went to Whitman? Did you go to Whitman?
So instead of going to my zone school, I ended up in Lefferts.
Damn, me too.
What year you was born, Pat?
I was born in 71. I'm about 5 or 6 years older than you, probably.
All right.
Yeah, but I have the same. I went to Lefferts and then I went to Whitman.
Okay.
Same thing.
So after Lefferts, I ended up in. Truth be told, I actually relocated and went down south. So I also did elementary school in Atlanta, Georgia, West End area. I went to Dean Rusk.
Okay, I know exactly where that's at. That's crazy because I did the same thing. I left PS 269 and I went straight to Savannah, Georgia, and I did 6th grade in Savannah. Then I came back and went to Lefferts for 7th grade. So I did the same exact thing. This is weird.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's crazy. After Dean Rusk, I ended up in Turner Middle School. So from Turner Middle School, I relocated back up north, and then I went to George Westinghouse.
Gotcha. Went to the house.
Yeah.
Gladiator school.
Yeah, I got kicked out of the house for fighting. That was like boot camp.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I ended up in Erasmus.
Oh, okay. So that's when you got back to your zone school, basically.
Yeah.
So that was like coming back home.
And it was necessary. It was necessary. It was all a part of my growth and my development.
But you can see that now, but could you see that at the time?
At the time, yeah, I actually could see it at the time because Georgia was a little bit slow. And not in the sense of the people were slow, but just for me, even though I was still in the city, I was still in Atlanta, it wasn't nothing like Flatbush. It wasn't nothing like Flatbush.
Yeah, that's why I only lasted a year in Savannah. After 1 year, you think Atlanta was slow? Savannah was a crawl. You know what I'm saying? It was worse than slow.
Well, what's interesting is when I was leaving Atlanta, they was just starting the development of underground Atlanta. So I got to observe it, like the coming up from the ground, and I actually was able to walk through it before they actually started like filling all of the shops up.
Nice. What year was that? 90, what, 93?
That was that was around like
90,
yeah,
the
I want to
early
say like
90s.
yeah, it was the early 90s. I can't really I'm real bad when it comes to pinpointing the actual year, but
Right.
yeah, it was Atlanta was beautiful, but it was different at that
Yeah.
time. It was different before all of that other energy started to come in. I
Yeah.
guess we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So go ahead, man. So you went so you came back to Flatbush. So I guess at that point you're in Westinghouse, you get kicked out. So is that around the point where you might say we enter into the streets, or like how did you end up going left per se?
Yeah, so when I came back from Atlanta, my family, like my cousins and a lot of the youth that I used to run around the streets with and play tag with, they were different. They were into
Mm,
different things. And
right.
it's like I I always had that, and I'm gonna just be totally vulnerable and transparent right now because even though I'm at the point right now where I see things from a spiritual aspect, I could speak on it in that sense of going back and see exactly the spirit that I was operating under. So
Yeah.
I was on demon time.
Hmm.
I was on demon time. A lot of my peers at the time, because of the things that they were into, I got caught up right up in the middle of it. I took my first pull of a blunt when I came back from Atlanta, and
Hmm.
that changed everything. That changed everything. My
How old
cousins
were you?
were
How old were you, Chris?
at that particular time. I was like, I
14.
want, yeah, 14, 14, 15,
Yeah.
and it changed everything. It changed everything. I don't regret it. However, if I could edit a part of my life out, I would have edited that part out.
Yeah, man. I totally agree with you. Even though we got to learn to live with regrets, but yeah, I think I would have kept trying to play sports. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Because
mm,
I really I really hit the scene. I probably jumped outside doing grown folk stuff about 16.
mm,
When I really started putting my life on the line, I was probably about 16, 17.
mm,
I was trying to play ball. You know what I'm saying? I was trying, and I really liked to play ball. I thought, shit, I thought I was good enough to go college, which I know I was, but
mm.
anyway, man.
So
So you're about 14,
yeah, I
14.
was I was around 14, 15, and so it went from the smoking the marijuana to trying to make sure that we were able to maintain finances to get the marijuana, and that
Mm-hmm.
led down, the first, I want to say, the introduction to crime, because the people who I was running with, they were into, breaking in homes and
Mm-hmm.
you know, taking people's possessions and stuff like that. I got caught up in that energy. That didn't really last that long for me because I really didn't like it. A lot of the people that we were actually robbing lived on the same block as us. So
Mm-hmm.
not smart at all.
Yeah,
Not
but
smart at
that's
all.
just it. They was doing that shit in my era too. Like the shit don't, you can't reinvent the wheel. That crime,
Mm,
same crimes, right?
mm,
So
yeah.
what happened after that?
So around that time also there was a lot of decepts running around in my neighborhood. So even though I wouldn't really say that I joined them, but I still repped them,
What neighborhood
because
was
there was
this? Where was y'all at? About No Street?
yeah, so majority of the decepts that I was running with was on Coney Island Avenue. They was
Oh,
on
okay,
like
yeah,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, like Ave C, Coney Island Avenue, around that area. And it was just like also because I went to Westinghouse, so that's like a interjection. You got Fort Greene right there. You got people coming from
Yeah,
pink houses. You got people coming from Vanderveer. You got people coming from Brown. So it's just like I was running with all of them too. You get on the two train and it was like guard your grill and knuckle up.
yeah, man.
Yeah. So um, I was basically hanging with some guys from pink houses, and that kind of like it was it was a negative. It was negative in a certain sense on behalf of the other people that I was running with from Flatbush, because it was like Pink Houses and Flatbush. They wasn't really rocking with each other like that, but I was the bridge. So
Right.
I had people from Flatbush that's like, yo, why you running with them Pink Houses dudes? And I had dudes from Pink Houses like, yo, why you running with them Flatbush dudes? So it was just like I was being pulled in a lot of different directions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you ain't feel no loyalty to Flatbush?
The loyalty was gonna always be in Flatbush because that's where I resided, but because I went to school downtown Brooklyn and I had to,
Yeah.
interact with these dudes, it was just like,
Yeah. The
you
same
know,
thing happened to me too. That's
mm,
crazy.
mm,
But a lot of those guys are still some of my guys to this day. Like
yes,
most of my
yes,
guys from East New York, they're from East New York too, especially over
mm,
on the Highland Avenue side. You know what I'm saying? Cypress side. A lot of my guys over there, Sheffield. So that's
mm,
the crazy. But I went to school in Manhattan, so it's the same thing. You get to interact with so many different people, and I
right,
had
right,
the same DCEPs going crazy. That's when they
yeah,
kind of formed
mm,
my time. This was like in the '80s. They formed. You know what I mean? I was in high school. I was in King, right up the
mm,
street from them niggas when they formed it. So I
mm.
get it, man. But I'm glad you was able to transition, man, and here to tell your story, man. So that kind of catapults you into the streets,
Yeah, yeah,
but
definitely.
not hustling though. Just doing crimes, just doing
Yeah, just
regular
yeah.
little
So
shit we do.
the crazy part about it, because like hustle is anything. So it was like I was packing bags in the grocery store, and I was, that's how I was making my ends meet. But eventually I branched off from bagging groceries to bagging, marijuana bags. And
Mm,
so my dad, when I was 17 years old, he passed away, and he left me, a substantial amount of finances. And
mm,
it was just like, so now instead of me buying weed from the weed man, I'm buying, weight from him so that I
mm,
could, like basically flip it. Cause everybody, it was like when I would come around, everybody, they want to addy up to get, a couple of bags. And I'm like, you know what? I just got smart. And I was like, if I come with the weed, they'll
right.
buy from me, and I'm making money on one end, and I'm still getting nice on the other end. So
Hmm.
that's where that hustling spirit, like as far as the streets came in.
So you jump right into buying whole bags.
Yeah, like
I mean, you had the bread. Your pops died, left you a bag, so you went right into buying pounds.
yeah, immediately.
Man,
You know,
that's kind of ambitious too, to think that you could even handle pounds if you ain't never handled pounds before.
I mean, but because I was so connected with so many different people, it was like it
Mhm.
was just getting off. It was getting off. Like once they realized I had it, it was over.
So you had
It
the
was over.
confidence in the beginning to know that you can get the pound off.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Real talk. Real talk. But the crazy part about it was I wouldn't sell it. Wait, I broke everything down.
yeah. Okay,
Trays, nicks, dimes, dubs, 50s, anything. Like, yeah,
getting to it.
yeah. So I I relocated from Church Avenue and moved to 25th between Ave D and Clarendon. I was right up the block from um Professor X from X Clan.
Yeah, you
Yeah, he lived on that block.
Jason, my man
Yeah,
Jason, brother Jay.
yeah. He
Yeah,
lived
brother.
on that block.
Yeah, I know, because I live on 28th between D and Clarendon. That's where I grew up at. That's my mom's block. I know Jason. We always used to go to our private school together as kids, little kids. Brother Jay from X Clan.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right.
Wow.
So when I lived there for maybe like a year and a half, and then moved to Vanderveer Projects, and it was just like that's when everything really started to surface because the
What's
projects is different.
where did you move? What building? Where did you land? What court?
I was on Sunshine Court, 1407
Yeah.
was my building.
New York
It
Ave.
was yeah, New York Ave. It was different. Kev, it was different. It was different.
So yeah, so you got that's the stomping grounds, huh? Vanderbilt, man.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I learned to play ball. I went to 269 Annex. I went to 269 main building. I even went to St. Jerome's across the street. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Everything I did, Avenue D, that's my Newkirk, that's my train station. So I
Right,
grew up
right,
in
right.
there. I got distance from Vanderbilt. I bust my head when I was 4 or 5 years old. My babysitter was on front page. I bust my, that's the door hinges. Remember the big ass door hinges in there? That's that. You know what I'm saying? I had this shit on my head from Vanderbilt since I was 5.
Yeah, I caught my first war squad in Vanderbilt when I was around that age too, because I had an aunt that lived in 1368. So I was always running around the projects when I was a little kid. And the playground that's right over there on Forster in New York, you know, there was a whole bunch of glass. I was swinging on the swings and tried to flip off and fell head first into the glass, and that's why I caught my first little, you know,
that was
pavement scar. Yeah.
So once you got to VIA, how old was you when you got to VIA? You was a teenager?
So yeah, when I got to VIA, I was around like 16, going on 17. I was actually going to Erasmus at that time. So it was like a lot of the people from Erasmus, they lived in VIA. But you know, I was pumping my weed out of my car. You know, I come to school, park up, get some bags off, go in school, get some bags off, because the thing about Erasmus, it was like just being on the block. You know, you could still get your weed off in there. You know, anything else that you had to get off in there, whatever people's preference was, you could get it off right in school.
Wow.
So after my pops passed away and he left me the bag, and you know, I got into grinding, I moved from Vanderbilt projects to a room on Avenue H. I think it was Avenue H, and I forgot the cross block, but I got a room there, and from there I moved to Ocean Avenue, and that's when everything just like really opened up.
Yeah, Ocean and what?
I was an Ocean in church.
Oh yeah, you was in the middle. You was in the middle.
Right? Yeah, right across the street from St. Paul's. Like St. Paul's Court was right there. Yeah, but I was I held a building down that was right next to Triple Nickel, the building right next to it. So it's like parallel from Tennis Court. So that whole area, you know, I was running through there, getting my work off. It's different. It's different. You want to know what's crazy, Kev? Like, even though the projects, you know, the buildings look the same, and you know, it's fenced in, and you know, you got courts. When you really think about it, like Tennis Court is like a project. If you really think about it,
because of the tenements, because of the buildings, right?
Yeah. Everything is just still just like, you know, so together, and everybody right on top of each other.
If you, so you go up that whole 19th and the whole tennis court, come down 18th, and maybe add Ocean. That can be Vanderbilt. If you just go from church to Albemarle, or church down to whatever, that's a lot of buildings, bro.
Yeah.
I'm saying,
Vanderbilt
probably got like 30, 40, 35, 40 buildings in Vanderbilt.
You know what I'm saying?
And I'm just guesstimating.
It's small, but it's still big.
That's not small though. If you think about it, 35 or 40 buildings.
Yeah, true. Spaced out though.
Yeah, they're all plus. You got 4 buildings make a courtyard, right?
Right.
5 make a courtyard, right? You got Sunshine, Terrace, Front Page, all the different courts. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Upstairs court. You got different, you know what I'm saying, courts. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's a lot of buildings. That's a lot of people. You know.
So you know, because back in them days, you had VIP. When I went to Western House, there was a lot of lowlifes there. There was a lot of lowlifes in Western House. They was from the lowlifes was from all over. Yeah. They was from all over. Like, but it's just like you get the best of all worlds, because you get the grittiness, then you get the flamboyantness, and then you know you get the hustlers. It's just like it just cultivated my mind. You know, my mind was blown at an early age, because interacting with all of these different people and different cultures and, you know, different mentalities, it was dope.
Yeah, man. That's New York City itself is just dope when you're young, man. If you really, you know, if you can make it, you know, to 21, man, you know, them teenage years them should be crazy, bro.
Right,
you know, a lot of brothers not here to tell the story. You know what I'm saying? A lot of brothers. I'm talking about some brothers that wasn't even bad brothers. Some dudes just was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and it just was their time. You know,
Right.
a lot of
Right.
my guys died. These guys ain't even have kids yet, bro. Like
Mm.
niggas ain't even get to really live. Niggas ain't have a license yet. My man, my best friend, niggas is out of here. They go or die. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I'm like one of the only ones living. Like it's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
That's like
Mm.
all of these guys is living through me. I'm like 10 guys in one. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? That's why it's hard for a motherfucker to beat me. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Because I got the spirit of my ancestors and shit with me, man. It's like you can't beat me, bro. Like, you know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Mm.
Because I've suffered so much heartache from my friends and my family, my moms, everybody passing away. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't have nobody like that, like that. You know what I'm saying? The people that I know that love me. So as a Scorpio, you know, I tend to latch on to people looking for love. But then when you violate me, I'm your worst enemy. Like I just go from
Mm.
fucking sweet to, you know what I mean? It's like the
Yeah.
weirdest thing. But
Yeah.
that's just because of all the stuff that we've been through and the constant trauma, you know, and the
Right.
constant
Right.
betrayal. People continue to betraying you. After a
Mm.
while, it weighs on you the same way that it weighed on Jesus. You know, when person just betrays you, you know. So, you know,
Mm.
we've been hurt a lot, but that's why this right here is actually is dope. I like it because it's therapeutic. You
Yes.
understand?
Yes.
It's more
Yes.
therapeutic to me to call you a black man, and maybe you just needed somebody to talk to. Maybe I just needed somebody to talk to. Maybe I
Right.
just needed to hear it, right?
Right.
I
Right.
just need to hear
Right.
somebody else's story to appreciate mine.
Right. Right.
You
So
see what
so
I'm saying?
when what I another thing that I realized is that when I was on demon time, like I'm not even going to speak on some of the things that I've done, just for the sake of, like you saying, the glorification of it. Like, I'm gonna be transparent, but not too transparent to the point where I'm gonna, you
Mhm.
know, uh, have them alphabet boys try to dig up an indictment on me.
Nah,
But
you already know.
as a hustler, um, the people who see you out there getting money, they wouldn't believe that, you did other things. You understand? Like you may have been a person that was playing with them things at one point in
Hmm.
time, and laid somebody down. Nobody would never know. They wouldn't think it because they see you out there on the grind and they think that you're just getting money. But that those demons, they come in all different shape, forms, and sizes. You understand? They
Absolutely.
don't. Yeah, they don't have no boundaries.
I totally agree with you, brother. And I'm gonna keep it real with you. Um, the demons, these demons nowadays is not them. Is not the back in the days demons. We whooped them. We know how
Mm,
to beat them already. These new demons,
mm,
it's these dudes in the gym. They moving like a straight legion of demons, bro. They organize. You know what I'm saying?
mm.
They got big butts. They just like, yo, dog. These demons is in the phone. Yo, you gotta be mentally trained to deal with this warfare going on out here. The Bible says, don't be of the world. Like, you know what I'm saying? You in the world, but don't be of the
Of
world.
the world,
You know
right?
what I'm saying? And if you really get caught up out here, you be in a whirlwind of disgust and deceit, only to end up by yourself, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Somewhere depleted of all your funds and totally sucked of all your energy. That's what's
Yes, sir.
going on out here.
Yes,
So
sir.
you gotta stay sharp mentally.
Yes,
You
sir.
gotta do pull-ups right here.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mental gymnastics. So, one of the things that was a gift and a curse for me was I had that gambling spirit that was on me. So,
Mm-hmm.
because I had a bag, and I didn't realize it at the time, I'm going into these gambling spots and I'm interacting with individuals who trying to get a bag. So I'm walking in with the jackpot though. I got the
Mm-hmm.
jackpot on me. I got 20 or 30
Right.
grand in my pocket. And
Right.
they got, a couple of $100. So it's a win-win for them.
Anyway, if they can just stay around long enough.
Yeah, yeah, it's a win-win for them. Even if they catch me for 2 or 3 grand, it's still a win-win for them.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I didn't realize it then. So, from just all of the excessive gambling, before I looked up, you know, a lot of the bag that my dad left to me was depleting. It was gone. You know, and in my mental, I'm like, all right, I could go on the block and make that back, you know, because I'm still grinding. I still have other avenues, but
Right.
I'm not realizing that it's like hustling backwards,
Absolutely.
you know. So
How old
that
was
led
you at
me
this point?
around this point. I want to say that my heavy gambling stages, well, just to back up once again, when I came from ATL, my peers introduced me to CeeLo and
Yeah.
craps and things of that nature. So it was just like I got caught in the web. I lost a lot of money just learning how to gamble. You know,
Hmm.
I didn't know what the numbers meant. I'm just putting my money down on the floor. They may not have even been actually getting a point. They could have just been acting like, oh, I won, you know. And as I
Yeah.
matured and I learned the game, I'm like, oh, all right, you know, I took a lot of losses. So around that time though, when I really got heavy into it, I want to say I was like around 18, 19.
So
Gambling
so
spots was all over Flatbush. They were all over Flatbush, man.
yeah, I know a couple of my guys that was behind a couple of them gambling spots, man. But
Mhm.
the crazy part is, if you think about it, in the perfect world, imagine if you had some financial literacy at that point, right? Say dad left you anywhere between $250,000 and $500,000.
Mhm.
I know it had to be something like that, right? So
Yeah, it
say
was it was
dad
in that
left,
neighborhood.
I know, I bet it was, right? So suppose you had the financial literacy at that point. See, but all along, nobody even tried to teach us financial literacy. Now,
Right,
dad did the right thing. He had some financial literacy because he had enough sense to well enough to make sure that he left you something, some type of nest egg. That if you
right.
wanted to continue your education, I got you. Now,
Mhm.
what you do with it is on you, but he left that. You know what I'm saying? And this is where I feel like my generation is not doing the same thing. Like we rather have car insurance than health insurance and life insurance.
Right,
We
that's
rather
right.
talk about Balenciaga, you know what I'm saying, but don't have no Bitcoin or don't have no type of investments going on. And
Right, right.
I feel like you like you get on to something like back in the
Mhm.
days if somebody got on to like Gene, if somebody went to like Roosevelt Field and it was like, yo, shit sweet. Everybody know, yo, go to Roosevelt. You could G, it's sweet. So it's the
Right,
same. We always grew up with the same concept. So if you find something, you see, oh snap, I found a lane in the trucking industry. Oh, but the trucking industry is so big that it don't matter who I put on. I ain't, we ain't stepping on each other's toes, right? So then you
right,
start saying, yo, then you start thinking about people that like, oh my, he ain't doing nothing right now. I know. You start saying, yo, man, this trucking thing. You start to put people on because it's sweet.
mhm,
You see what I'm saying? That's how I am. I always try to put people on to when I find something that's sweet. You
mhm.
know what I mean? I still got them old, once again, principles. And sometimes it comes back to bite you in the ass, but
Mhm.
that's how we gotta live. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? I'm opening my network so big right now. I'm gonna keep growing it that opportunity's gonna have to pass me. It's gonna have to pass
right,
my way for me to snatch him. And it's not gonna, I'm gonna have to, I ain't gonna wanna, excuse me, I'm not gonna have to go hard for it. I want it to just pass. I'm like a lazy shark. I want that shit to come right down. That's it. I'm not gonna chase it or none of that shit.
right, right, right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right. So another thing that I wanted to touch on that I realized too is that I didn't realize it then, but I realize it now. So God is a jealous God, and anything that we put before Him, He doesn't like that. It's like idolizing it.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually idolizing the money. I was worshiping the money. You know, we be in such a pursuit of it, not realizing that at times we're actually putting it before our relationship with God. And anything that you put before Him, He'll take it away from you.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I wasn't really spiritually in tune at that time, I am now. You know, I didn't realize that I was chasing after something that I already had. You know, I already had it, but I'm still chasing after it. So
Hmm.
once again, it's like hustling backwards.
Man, uh, I've been having a love hate relationship with money
Mm,
for about 30 years of my life. Money has controlled my life for like
mm,
the past 30 years of my life, everything I've done has been because of money. And everything that happened to me, good and bad, has been because of money.
Mm.
To the point where I got disgusted with money. And I asked God to take it from me. Take all the money. Everything I made off of any type of illegal drugs, take it from me.
Mm.
I was driving. I was in my Harley Davidson pickup truck. I'll never forget it. I was going out to like Tara Boulevard because I had a safe deposit box way out there. I used to have some money hid way out like I forgot what part of Georgia it was. I can't remember. So I was going out there to get some money, but I did that on purpose because I don't want to go out there and get some money. So I put my cash safe deposit box so far that I got to think 3 or 4 times before I even get over there. And I was right. I was like, man, the walls was closing in on me, and people was treating me different. Nothing was organic no more. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know if I was that handsome to the chicks all of a sudden. You know what I mean? I got all the chicks. You know what I mean? Like all the bad chicks too. Bad Jones, son. White, black, Philippine. You know what I'm saying? It's like what, like, and I was the most unhappy I've ever been in my life. And me and money, I don't even know what to say, man. And I can get it. I get it easy. And I think I don't know if it's a gift or a curse. That's why I always try to pass on shit, like pass on, because my energy is so good and I'm attractive. I attract stuff. That's what the universe gives me because my heart is pure. You know what I'm saying?
Well, anything that's coming from a place of I want to say illegal activities, that's not coming from God.
Right.
And it's like we have to recognize exactly who's actually giving us these gifts, where these presents coming from, and a lot of times people, a person may hit a lick and be like, yeah, thank God, thank God I'm blessed. And they don't even realize that that's not coming from God right there. That's a different entity that you get that gift from,
Well, it's always cliche, right? Everybody always say we know all money ain't good money. We all know all money ain't good money, but this era right here, man, all dudes do is chase the bag, right? Everybody's just chasing it. Nobody's really sitting back to see what's up. You know what I mean? So I feel sorry. Like I got some of my godsons and my nephews. These dudes is doing their thing, bro. Like it's their time, and I respect it. I get out the way. They call me Unc. I mean, these dudes is winning. You know what I mean? A lot of them got a lot of that stuff from me. You know what I mean? A lot of them was, drinking my bottles in the club and all that. Now I go drink their bottles. You know what I'm saying? Now everybody like, who the hell is this old guy when I be coming through? Wonder why these guys, you part in the Red Sea, because when they didn't have it, I was taking care of them. You know what I'm saying? So I understand it's daytime, but it's a different era out here. I went out, man, and one day I was in the club and I was like, in Atlanta. I go through, they let me in, bring me in the VIP. I still got the bottle downstairs. They gave me a 1942. I didn't even know they come that long like this, dog. So everybody look at who's this guy, that this guy's, you know what I'm saying? And a girl kind of got smart because he put me in an awkward position in the club. It was so tight. So she's like, oh, excuse me. I'm like, yo, chill, man. I was like, let me get out of here. Let me move. And I was in the club and I'm saying to myself, man, I think this, I always say it's my last time in the club, but tonight, this is my last time in the club, man. Yeah, you can have it. I'm going to fade to black. I ain't coming out no more. Because the spirit, once your spirit is uneasy, you know what I'm saying? It's hard for you to remain in the same, space. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The devil has a way of transforming into an angel of light. So we have to be very careful because when we were born, God assigned us an angel and the devil assigned us a demon. So that demon knows exactly what we desire. He knows exactly what our wants are, what our temptations are. And every so often, like you could just be sitting back, relaxing, not even thinking about it. And the urge will come, like West Indians say, you haunted. You haunted, you just feel it. And that's really that demon that's trying to whisper into your mental, because the mind is the battlefield. So it always starts off in the mind. And You know, you could be driving, and because that demon that's been assigned to you know exactly what you like, know exactly, you know, what's your niche, it'll bring it right across your path. So like when you were saying that, you know, you want to be like that shark that bite whatever comes along. Sometimes the devil sends certain things to you. And
Mm-hmm.
if you're not really spiritually, you know, paying attention to it, you'll bite something and it'll be bait and you get pulled up, you know, right out of the water and get ate, get
Exactly.
fried.
That's why what you're saying is spot on. I want to be so still. I want to be so still and in my spirit and watching everything that when I do bite, it's a
Biting the
sure
right.
bite.
Right. That's
A
right.
sure
That's
bite.
right.
I ain't going
That's right.
swimming all through the sea because I can't go out there. I can't. This, you
That's
know,
right.
there's new sharks out here. I ain't going front.
That's right.
I'm an old shark. I'm gonna wait until that shit get right here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not chasing nothing no more. In other words, I'm not chasing nothing. You know what I mean? I'm not chasing nothing, man. You know what I mean? You know what I believe, like this is what I believe, Chris. What God got for you, he got for you, and what God got for me, he got for me.
That's
One
right.
thing that you never do is covet another man's fortune or another man's wife or
That's
another
right.
man's
That's right. That's
treasures.
right.
Because what
That's
that
right.
man, you don't know what that man got or went through to get what he got.
That's
And you don't
right.
know what that female, that woman, that queen went through to get what she got. I
That's right.
never, once I started really meeting celebrities and moving around in the music industry, I stopped judging people. A lot of stuff started making me judge people. Being in prison will humble you.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know
So
that will humble you. You know.
let's so I'm glad you brought the music industry and prison up. So let me backpedal a little bit. So in between the age of 15 and 17, I signed my first contract. You know, well actually my mother signed it for me. So it was with CBS Records at the time. I started to dabble into music because, you know, music was big for us coming up. Hip hop was
Absolutely.
like, yeah, that was our culture. You know, that was a lifestyle for us. So I started writing rhymes when I was younger. You know, started entertaining them when I got a little bit older. And I had a brethren that was going to a studio in East New York, and he would always take me to the studio with him. And I was fascinated, you know, and it was just like it was an outlet for me. You know, it was a way out of the streets. It was distraction, and whenever I was in the studio, it was just a different vibe. You know, so I actually did a video from I don't know if you know him. His name was Kenny Blank. He was the person who directed the video. He had a couple of movies he was in.
Uh,
So my producer took me to his house out there in Connecticut. He filmed the video for me called "Don't Drink and Drive." So it was sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Drivers.
Mad. Okay.
Ralph McDaniels, he actually played the video on Video Music Box. So at that particular time, I got to meet a lot of celebrities. I did shows with Showbiz and AG, Naughty by Nature, Lord Finesse. I used to be in Special Ed Crib with him. You know, he lived
Right.
right down the block on 31st, so it was like,
Yeah.
you know,
Church out.
Star Child and them. You know, they lived like on 35th, and you know, so I was in that loop.
Damn.
But
What Star Child? What group was Star Child?
what was Star Child?
Was it two dudes in there?
Yeah, it was two dudes.
Yeah, flat
Oh,
tops.
yeah, yeah.
One of them named Rico or Ricardo. Rico.
Yes, yes, yes.
Dang,
I
I ain't
forgot.
remember.
I forgot the name of
I
their group
remember.
though. I forgot the name of their group. But yeah, like Star Child was nasty with it. He was nasty with it.
Man, I know all
Um.
them dudes from over there, man.
Mm,
I
mm.
that jogged my memory.
I did shows with
All my
them.
man, 40, my man
Yes.
40.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know my
Yeah.
man. Who else from over
Definitely.
there? My man, Have Mercy. My man Wayne,
Yes.
Have Mercy.
Yes.
My man's
Yes.
name is Wayne Otis. He went by Have Mercy. He was signed to Flip Mode. That's my
Right.
guy.
Right.
Yeah, all these guys I remember from back in the days going to school and stuff, man. Of course,
So.
His
So.
brother, brother Drew.
Right.
You know
Right.
Drew
Right.
solid. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
And of course, Rampage. He lived over there
yeah. Roger.
around
Yep.
Flight out. Yeah. So it's just
He
like
was on New York. Roger was on New
you go
York and Tilden, right
New
across
York, New
from
York and Tilden.
181. Right,
Right.
Yeah, right across the street from 181. That's where he grew up in that house right there, closer to Tilden.
So
Yeah.
but my rap career was very mediocre. It wasn't the music didn't really go nowhere, and the reason being is because I wasn't putting my heart and soul into it. My producer used to always tell me like, you got to choose one. You got to choose the streets or choose this the music industry. Choose your weapon. I chose the streets. So because I wasn't putting my heart and soul into it, he stopped investing into it. Like no more studio time. You want to run the streets, gotta run the streets. I find somebody else. He relocated to Atlanta, and I relocated right back to the streets.
So what happened from there, man? Tell me. Let's bring it up to speed about around the time where because you ended up doing a federal bid, right?
No, so I didn't do it. I didn't do a federal bid.
You did a
So
state bid?
yeah. All right. Crazy
So
part about it. I actually the first time around I didn't actually do a bid. I was just doing time and waiting for them to basically take me to trial. So all right, fast forward, had children, went to live in VA, came back from VA, ended up living in Co-op City. So around the time when I started slinging weed, I guess because I was very, very meticulous with what I was doing. But even though you think that you're moving the right way, you still got people watching you. So because I was doing it on a higher scale, the boys started paying attention to me. And I was, connected with so many different people. I may have got put on by them to them by other people. Other people that they were watching, they probably seeing me in the loop with them, and they're like, "Why we keep seeing this dude? He's everywhere. Let's start watching him." So one day I'm sitting in my Jeep. I had it parked up on 21st and Church Avenue, right next to the cemetery. And a Crown Victoria pulls up on me. Guy rolls down the window. He's like, "Listen, you think we don't know what you're doing, but we've been watching you. Don't park this Jeep up on this block no more. If you park this Jeep up on this block, you and the Jeep gonna come up missing." And they drove off. So I'm like, all right. I took heed, went and bought another vehicle, still was grinding, but just kind of like, try to be low key about it, and not realizing that they were building a case on me. But they could not actually pin anything on me because the way I was moving. So now fast forward many years later, I go to Co-op City and I'm out there and I'm grinding. The same boys that was in Flatbush that, pulled up on me years ago, they monitoring me out there in Co-op City.
Wow.
Crazy.
I always want, like, when you study cases, right, you always want to find out how did they get the scent, which we call the scent. Who put the scent on you? Like, how did they get the scent on you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I said, I think it was more or less just probably all on me because I'm moving and grooving in so many different circles. I'm hanging on Regis with them guys. I'm hanging on St. Paul's with them guys. I'm hanging on Tennis Court with them guys. I'm down the block on Church Ave in Victoria with them guys. I'm on Utica Avenue. I'm in the 90s. So it's just like they probably was watching other people and seeing me continuously moving in and out of these circles, and they thinking I'm the man now. So now it's like, all right, let's put a tail on him.
So what happened in the Bronx?
So I was in the Bronx. I'm grinding. I had a couple of builders out there making plenty of dollars, making a lot of money. And a situation had happened where a woman had got raped, a elder lady. She had to be like in her late 50s. She got raped, and the person who did it was like 6'2". He weighed like 200 and something pounds. He was like 40 something years old, but the boys decided to pick me up for it. I didn't fit the description, but they still came and grabbed me up. Now, when they came and bust down my door with their guns drawn, I'm thinking like, all right, this is it. I finally done got caught up. You know, I had a nice run, and I'm like, so what is this about? You know, and one of them was like tax evasion. So now I'm really like, oh yeah, you know, they got me.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, they take me down to the precinct, and it's like they put me in a lineup, and after, you know, they whoever it was pointed me out in the lineup, they take me into another room, and you know, they saying, and I'm asking them like, well, what am I here for? What am I really here for? And then they explain to me like, yeah, you're going down for this rape. You know, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, you know, that was all a setup. The lineup,
Yeah, all of that,
everything was a setup, bro.
all of that,
These niggas run
all of
that
that.
game on niggas all the time. That's how they lose dudes. That's a straight setup. The whole rape thing. I'm not saying she wasn't a victim, and if she was, you know what I'm saying, my heart goes out to the family and the victims and anybody that's been victimized. But at the end of the day, that's how these police play, bro. See,
Yeah,
like I always said, they want you, they're gonna get you. So go ahead, though.
yeah.
I didn't mean to cut your
So
knowledge, God.
nah, it's all right. So now, um, I'm getting all of the negative attention from the press because, you know, it's in the news, it's in the papers, you know, and I tried to hang it up. Now
When
I'm
we was
being
at
very.
Rikers Island,
I was on well, before I was on Rikers Island, I was on the boat.
yeah,
So
the barge,
yeah,
the barge.
yeah, I tried to hang it up, and that's how I ended up on Rikers Island. Because it was just like I was like, listen, I'm not trying to. I already know that rape is one of the most lowest things that you could be incarcerated for, and
Yeah,
I tried to hang it up. So I ended up in the psych ward first on
right.
Rikers Island. They took me from the boat to Rikers Island. I ended up on the psych ward, and I was in there wilding out. They moved me to C95. I was in C95 wilding out, and then they moved me to OBCC. But in the process of all of that, that's when I had like my first real interaction with God. So
Mhm.
a Muslim gentleman walked up on me, you know, he was like, listen, he was like, I noticed that whenever you study in the word, you know, you more calm. You know, whenever you read in your Bible, you're more calm. But the days that I noticed that you don't pick up your Bible and read, you know, you wilding out. You need to pick up that book and don't put it back down. Now, considering that his belief system is Islam, but yet he's telling me to pick up the Bible and not put it back down, I felt
Mm,
like that was a direct interaction from God. God was speaking through him because he
right.
wasn't trying to convert me to Islam. He's basically saying like, you read in the Bible and that's causing you to be calm. Don't put that book back down. So from then on, that was it. You know, I just started just to allow God to work on me. And in all actuality, Kev, if I didn't do that, I probably would have went down. I probably would have went down for that case.
So at this time, you still fighting the charges,
The rape
correct?
case, yeah, yeah. I'm fighting a rape case.
So
So
you end up beating the case.
yeah, so I got acquitted.
Nice,
I got
nice.
acquitted through the grace of God. I got acquitted. I come home and I got married while I was
How long? How
incarcerated.
long? How long you was in there, Chris?
I was in it for 2 years. I was in there for 2 years. So I got married while I was in there. The young lady who I was married to, she was a good person. However, I really don't think that both of us was really ready for marriage. And on top of that, I was still dealing with some mental health issues.
Right,
You
right,
know, like because like now I come home and it's just like I tried to like just like put behind me that I was just, you know, facing like 30 to life
right.
for rape. You know, rape, robbery. There was a lot of things that was done to that lady. So they was trying to like throw the book at me. I tried to act like nothing ever happened and just go back out in the world and live my life. But I had issues. You know, I had unresolved issues from being in there and, you know, not allowing myself to let everything process and allow everything to catch up to me, like let my actions catch up to my thoughts and let my thoughts catch up to my spirit. So that marriage, it didn't last long. It didn't last long. It 10 years, but when I say like the actual marriage, like maybe a couple of months after I came out of Rikers, I started backsliding again.
So did you know her before you went in?
For a brief moment, for a brief
Mm.
moment, for a brief moment. So I started backsliding again, you know, and now this time it was like I was on, you know, full blast with it. Back in the gambling spots, you know, back smoking again, back hustling again. But then I started hitting up the casinos. So now that gambling demon came back even harder now from the
Damn.
gambling spots to the casinos.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you know, I would win heavy, but I would also lose more than I won. You know,
Wow.
so you know, this cycle went on for a good 8 or 9 years, and then I ended up back in prison again.
Wow. Which
This
one?
this
For
time
what? This time for what?
this time domestic violence, domestic
Okay.
violence. You know, so me and her, we got into a little altercation. You know, it was a lot of there was a lot of aggression, a lot of pent up anger because we both wasn't living right. We
Right.
both wasn't living right, and it just exploded. You know, and I have to say that I was totally out of my element. I was totally wrong. I don't care what a woman does. Never should put your hands on her. Should never put your hands on a woman. You know, I have daughters, so what was I teaching my girls by doing that? You know,
Mm-hmm.
so ended up so now for this I ended up doing 3 years, and it's crazy because most people that domestic violence they get a slap on the wrist and they out.
Right.
I ended up doing 3 years behind it, and they was telling me, you know, they was like, if you go to trial, if you take this to trial and you lose, we gonna give you 7. Yeah, yeah. So
So
now,
that exoneration or that what we call it, acquittal
yeah,
that you got, you don't really get acquitted.
basically, there you go, there you go, Kev, there you go. It was kind of like they were saying like, well, because we couldn't really get you for, you know, all of the other stuff that you was doing,
That's exactly what they were saying.
we're gonna make you pay for this little, you know, domestic violence charge right here.
That's
But
exactly what they were saying.
what they meant for evil, God meant for good. So now this time, while I'm incarcerated, I ended up in Bayside Prison in South Jersey, one of the most racist prisons in the world. You know, you got Caucasian officers running around with tattoos of black babies with a noose around their neck, on their arm. You know, they straight racist. So it was like this time around when I went to prison, I said, you know what? Let me give let me give God my heart totally, and let him fully, you know, like take all of these things that's in me, all of this hate, all of this anger, all of this lust, you know, all of this malice out of my heart, and allow Christ to actually like really live in my heart and develop a real relationship with God. And that's when everything just really changed.
Man, I think that greater men than us have been in prison.
Oh yeah. Oh
You know,
yeah.
and I
Oh
don't think
yeah.
that going to prison is the worst thing that could have happened to you.
Mm. It
You
was
know.
really the best thing that could happen to me. Because
Yeah.
if I didn't go to prison, I was going to end up dead.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes God will do that. He'll press that reset button.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And you rather him reset you than something else reset you.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But you know, just that solitude, right? I remember I got to the point where I didn't want no cellie. I used to try to do a few cellies. I didn't want nobody in the cell with me because I got so used to being alone, and I fell in love with it.
Mm.
I fell in love with myself. You know, I
Mm.
like being by myself, and I didn't want anybody in there. And I got to really see who I was and how strong I was because I didn't know I was that strong. Really, I didn't
Mm.
know I was that strong. I didn't know that
Mm.
my mother would die while I'm in prison, and I didn't
Mm.
know. If you told me this was going to be a chapter in my book, I said, not my book, never, never in a
Mm.
million years. But these are things we learn to live with. These are things that shapes us, and like the Bible said, it's good. Sometimes it's good that that you was afflicted. You know,
Right.
because
Right.
sometimes affliction ain't bad.
Right.
You
Right.
know.
So which leads us to where, you know, we are, where I am in my life today. So after that 3 years that I did it in Bayside, it was like no looking back. I wasn't gonna become like Lot's wife and become a pillar of salt because
Right. Yeah. No
no
turning
no
back.
no turning back this time around. And remarried, came home and found the woman who God created for me, and been able to pour into her spirit and allow her to see what a real living example of a man who's on fire for God is.
Mm-hmm. Amen
So
to that, brother.
yeah.
That's a beautiful thing, man. You know, that's a term that I used to hear when I was in the spot, man. It's on fire for the Lord.
Mm,
I haven't heard that in a second, man. But it's nothing better than when you got a man that's on fire for the Lord. But you got to have two people that's on fire for the Lord.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
And to
my
be
wife,
able to speak.
my wife is the
No, go
same
ahead.
way. No, I said my wife is the same way. She on fire for the Lord. But right now,
Nice,
it's trying to find
nice.
another church home, and
Mm,
I'm kind of skeptical because I picked wrong last time, and
mm,
the bishop totally exposed himself to me. Not
mm,
just me, but stuff I saw was just like remind me of. I was like
mm,
straight
mm,
a
mm.
bishop, brother. So I'm kind of
He's
like
still he's still he's still human, my brother. He's still
he
human.
is, he is,
Yeah.
but it jaded me because not just did I come there, but I
Hmm.
brought my family there.
Right.
Um, as a man and expected him to be some form of a spiritual leader to me,
Right.
especially
Right.
the time. A lot of times, man, we be broken, man. We be broken in different areas. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm.
your parents are still. Your father passed away, right?
Yes.
All
Yes.
right.
My mother's still alive. Yeah.
God bless her soul, man. Your father's not here. My father ain't here neither. So it's like
Mm.
we in a certain club, right? That
Mm.
if you're not in this club, you don't really know how that feel.
That's right. That's right. That's
And the
right.
same thing with my moms. If you're not in if you haven't lost your mother, then you really can't tell me you know how I feel. You don't know how I feel. Only the people that's in the same club with me could really say, "Yo, bro, I know how you feel."
Right. Right.
You see I'm coming from?
Well, when you say that, you're trying to find a new church home, and this is no this is not a shot to any temples that's built by man, like buildings that people go into worship. I believe that whatever is necessary in order to allow an individual to find peace and to find solitude, if that's where the Holy Spirit leads you to, by all means do it. But I have to say this: we are the church, we are the body of Christ.
That's right.
We are actually his temple because he resides inside of us. So we have to be walking, talking Bibles for people, because there's people that's gonna never pick up the Bible, but they're gonna study us.
That's
They're gonna
right.
observe how we're living our lives, and that may be the determining factor if they're gonna be drawn to the kingdom or if they're gonna, resist the kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
at the point in time right now when you're not, while you haven't found that home, you can still, study his word and pray
Oh
and
yeah.
meditate and fellowship and, still be able to fellowship,
That's what I
so
rather. I rather it that way.
yeah. Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? I'd rather it that way. Right now I'm just in do for self mode. Like everything
Mm,
that is not available to me, I'm creating it myself. You know what I mean? Everything that's not available to me that I truly want, I'm creating it myself. You
mm,
know, there's not a house that I like that I really like. Build my own the way I
mm,
like it. You know what I'm
mm.
saying? It's just like I'm just like doing for self. They started COVID. I didn't like the way they was handling my kids in school. I started a school. You know what
That's
I'm
right.
saying? I'm not gonna
Right.
sit. I'm just at that point in my life where I'm tired of pointing the fingers and blaming somebody else for it. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying?
mm.
Things that I should be taking control of in my life.
That's the
And that's
God in you, though, Kev. That's the God in you. So, God is a creator. He created the heavens, he created the earth, he created the whole universe. And when we sit down and we start to feel that creative energy, that creative drive, that's the God in us. He plants that vision in you, and it's just up for you to make it, manifest.
right. And that's the part where I'm locking in now is the manifestation part. Really learning how to manifest stuff. Really starting to learn what words really mean. You know what I mean?
Mm,
I've been breaking down words like respect. What does respect, perspective, inspection? What is spec? What does it really mean? You got to start breaking down stuff and start to analyze it, and that's when you see the whole total spectrum of life. You know what I'm saying? This is why we playing chess and other dudes is playing checkers, because
That's right.
We'll be 10 steps ahead of guys. I'm already in 2023 because in 2021 I was in 2022. You know what I'm saying?
That's powerful.
This is how we got to move. And I'm talking, all my shit is facts. This ain't no cap, no fluff over here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm just on a different ozone, and I'm in a different ozone, man. I'm just going through pretty much what I like to say. I want to identify it as a midlife crisis, but I'm definitely looking at it as how old I am now, how many years I've wasted, how much time I invested in people, and how much time I got ahead of me. And that's where it becomes scary, because I got more time behind me than I got ahead of me.
Preach.
You know, so that's where I'm at with it. So everything now got to be a sniper, got to be a headshot. I ain't shooting nobody no leg. Everything I'm attacking is straight headshot. You know, snipers, you got to be, you know, the guys that want to get Bin Laden. I'm shooting like that. I'm taking it down. Anything come across it, I'm shooting headshots. I gotta. You got a whiteboard? You got a whiteboard at home? You got a whiteboard in your office?
Nah. I don't have a whiteboard.
All right, well, go get your whiteboard, man. Go get your whiteboard. I got another. I just got this little office. I just got another one. I got like this size right here now, right? You know, buying from Staples and shit, right? Start to write that thing down, man. You got to pass it every day. You got to pass it. I used to write. I used to, on my podcast before I was shumpy. I used to like I can show I got mad paper and stuff, bro. I'm like, because I understand, because I think a lot, and I'll get on an idea, and if somebody will tell me something, we'll be rocking, and then I'm on something else, right?
Right.
So, but once I write it down, when I actually make it tangible. Right. I can see it for real, like you know what I mean. That's how I start to attack my goals. If my goal is my credit score, or say I want 720, whatever it is I'm trying to manifest, I'm going to write it where I can see it. And I'm going to meditate. I'm going to pray every time I walk out. I'm going to pray and meditate on it until it manifests itself. You know, just trying to exercise the brain.
It's something that came to my spirit as you was talking, you know, because you was speaking about like words, like, you know, power of words and learning what words mean. You know, we use the word integrity, and you know, I looked it up the other day so I can make sure that I have the correct meaning of it, and it means the quality of being honest, and also having a strong moral principle. So us as men of integrity, we have to be honest with ourselves. You know, the place where we're at and the place where we're trying to go. And we have to also recognize the errors of our ways. If we want to advance to the next level, there's certain things that God is trying to pull out of us, because there's things that he put inside of us and he's trying to draw it out of us. So some of the things that we are trying to capture, like how you said you got that whiteboard and, you know, it's a vision and you write it down. A lot of times God may not allow it to manifest because it ain't his time for us to do that. He wants us to develop character and grow in all of these other areas. So by the time we actually reach that next level, we're able to bless other people and glorify his kingdom in the process.
Absolutely. I'm glad you spun it back around the block. I'm glad you spun it around the block, because that's all it is patience. You still got to plant the seed.
That's right.
You just got to have patience to wait for it to sprout. You better be planting seeds, man. You understand what I'm saying? He gonna apply the increase, but you got to plant the seed.
That's right. And it don't grow overnight. There's no farmer that sees a harvest get produced in one night. It's seasons. And that's why we got to embrace the rain like we embrace the sunshine, because how is a harvest or crop supposed to grow if the rain don't fall on it? It got to be
Yeah,
watered. It got to be
right.
nurtured.
But you don't control that. All you could do is be of good faith and good integrity, right? Integrity is like the validation of honest.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? Integrity is really the validation of honest. You just got to be honest with yourself. And what you're saying is correct. That's why I said when you spun it back around, because what you said was spot on. The last part is you got to work on yourself first. You got to work on yourself first, man. God ain't going to bless a mess.
That's right.
He's a God of
That's
order.
right.
He's a God of order.
That's
If it
right.
ain't an order, he ain't going to bless it. And I learned the hard way. I could sit here and talk with confidence because I took my whoopings, but I took every one of them like a man. I took him like a man. I take him in public. I take him like a man. I take my wins like a man too. You know what I'm saying? I take my W's the same way. So when you see me over here smiling and bragging, just don't because I took a lot of losses, took a lot of whoopings, a lot of sleepless nights, losing weight, all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because of the things that didn't happen in my life. But then you got to understand, none of that stuff is really stronger than you because it didn't beat you because we still here.
You got people that they have a certain amount of financial revenue, and that's what they live for. So if that was to go away today, they're gonna jump off the roof. They're not gonna be able to handle it. Where people like us, we came from the dirt. So it's like if we lose it, it's all right. We can get it again. We're not gonna lose our mind with it, and that's all a part of allowing the spirit to be rich, because all of this is gonna pass away. We gonna leave, and this is gonna still be here. So it's like, what do we do with it while we got it? What is the purpose of us having it? What is our intentions? For receiving the materialistic things.
What you gonna do? But we got what you gonna do when you get it? See, I had a saying that I put up the other day, and it's just like a rich man without God is just a poor man with money.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's spot on.
So what? You got $500 million. You and you're a selfish, narcissistic, self-centered piece of shit. What does it benefit us if you got 500 million? Or does it benefit us the guy that's giving, the guy that's honest, the guy that's integrity is in morals, or his whole moral compass is set up right? What happened when he gets 500 million? God blesses his pockets to bless other people. These guys ain't gonna get no money because if God bless you with it, you ain't gonna take care of nobody. That's why guys don't get it. You got to give it away. If you give it away. My whole thing is be like water. Just flow, man. I'm not fighting with nobody. I don't fight. I don't argue. But if you right, you right. You know what I mean? You're right.
A man and a woman that is truly blessed is one who recognizes that they're in a position to bless others. And a lot of times it may not even be actually, to be able to give another individual something financially. It may just be able to give a word to encourage somebody when they're going through a situation, and just your voice or just your spewing out encouraging words to them to uplift their spirits. That's more important than anything, because there's so many people that's running around. They got money, but they still, their mind is going. They not happy.
Money come and money goes. Money come and money goes. When I really got a lump sum of money, back in like when I really got a good lump sum of money, when I really touched a good lump sum of money, it was probably like 2007 or 6, 5. Well, it depends what you call a bag, right? There we go again, right? Everybody's bag is different.
It's different. That's right.
But when I considered a bag, I touched like in 06, 07. I touched my definition of a bag. And nothing changed. All I did was get cooler stuff. Nothing changed. All I did was get a cooler car, cooler clothes, cooler chicks. I just got cooler shit. But nothing changed. My happiness didn't go through the roof. No girls didn't pop out the closet when nothing changed. You know what I'm saying? I just went from Macy's to Neiman's. I just went from Neiman's to Saks. I went from Saks to Gucci to Louis. I just went, that's all that happened, but nothing changed. I still came out with the same bag with just more money, less clothes. The food at the restaurants, when I went to Mr. Child's, it was still the same. Nothing changed. I said to myself, I've just my whole life chasing money for what? For cooler stuff. I'm not any more happy. I didn't meet the woman my dream, Vanna White. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. I just had cash.
Right.
Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-fucking do, bro.
Right.
That's why some people out here that got some money, you wouldn't even know they got money. They don't worship it. They don't worship
That's right. That's right.
They ain't icy, ain't got the watch on. You know what I'm saying? This girl said, oh, she said, why you don't wear no jewelry? Why you ain't got no watch? Or something she said to me. I said, because I got 5 acres. I bought cash. I bought cash in the city. Who you think you talking to? But that's how, you know, that's how we judge, right? If you ain't got no watch, you ain't, you know what I mean? If you ain't whatever, you ain't popping, you know?
Right.
You know, I play the game, but if I play the game, I'd rather play for the youth because that's what I'm trying to attract. See, all this is a conversation piece to any kid.
Right.
When somebody answers time, they be telling people, yo, look, and then the kid will come on and be, that's what it's for. If I'm gonna do anything, I'm gonna reach the youth. You know what I'm saying? With my youth. While I'm 50, but I'm still youthful, I would take this youth and teach kids basketball. While I'm teaching them basketball, I'm gonna mentor them on the pitfalls. You know what I'm saying? On the way to getting your scholarship and things that can happen. And I'm gonna teach you about different things. And I'm gonna be that uncle and that coach. If you want to know things about, if you talk about girls, I'm gonna tell you protect yourself. I'm gonna be that voice. You know what I mean? Be that voice of reason. But I'm gonna be so cool because I'm always gonna have the cool sneakers and the cool coach that you're gonna come tell me maybe you might got a girl pregnant. You know what I'm saying? You might tell me maybe you know you feeling discomfort somewhere, maybe because your first time. You know, these are the conversations I done had with young men.
Right.
Through basketball. Right. So it's just you get their attention and then you mentor them. And now they're in college. These guys, some of them will be on, they all up through here. They all up in here. They got families now, they're in their 30s. Some of them, you know, got their kids. So this is what I hope that God is using me for the youth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They're the future.
The youth, man. And we had a great conversation tonight, man. I know I want to talk more though, man. So you ain't really digging into the story. So you came home,
right,
got married.
So the reason why I'm circling around and not really going so much into depth is because I'm actually writing the story. Nice. So I'm trying
let's talk about that. That's what I'm saying. So tell me. So this is what I was telling you earlier offline. Like I said, I ain't got no script. It's me and my man up here, super producer Roach. That's my producer, just us. So salute to Roach, right?
Salute to Roach.
It's all about a redemption story.
Right.
Because I have a hell of a redemption story as well. You know. So I wanted to talk about the past, but I also want to talk about the present and the future. So tell us more about your book. I know that you we share a common friend as well, Cynthia. Cynthia Franklin. Shout out to Cynthia.
Yes, shout out. Cynthia, salute.
So tell us a story about how you got inspired to write this book, and you know.
So I when I came home from Rikers Island the first time, you know, I became like a YouTuber. I started to do videography and do documentaries and things of that nature. And in the process, I started writing, you know, because I had the laptop open and I'm like, you know what? Let me start writing my story. I was like 20, 24, 25 chapters in. And when I got incarcerated for this last bid, all of my stuff was on those laptops. So the officers, they confiscated it. So when I came back home, you know, I jump on Facebook and I start to reach out to people, and Cynthia face comes up. I'm like, oh, you know, friend request her.
What year is this?
this is recent. This is I want to
Two
say
years, 3 years ago.
yeah, around. All right, so I came home. Actually, tomorrow will be 3 years that I've been home. March
Yeah,
17th
that
will
sounds
make
about
3.
right.
Yeah, March 17th will be 3 years that I've been home. So, I had like other pages, but when I started to reinvent myself and come back on Facebook, she became my friend on Facebook, and I seen Chastity. Chastity. She got a couple of
Yeah,
books, and
yeah. That's my sis Chastity.
yeah,
We have
when I seen her, I was like, oh, you know what? Let me pay homage to her. And by this time, Cynthia had already invited me to your page, to
oh,
your
okay.
to your group. So I decided to pay homage to her on your page because Flatbush, everybody knows her. So
Right.
and me paying homage to her, she said it too, like no, actually, so Cynthia was like, you need to write your book. People need to know about your story.
Right.
And I was like, in God's timing. So then Chastity chimed in and she was like, the timing is now.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like that kind of like sparked the fire in me. And I was like, you know what, they right. God
Yeah.
might be trying to speak through them to me. My mind
Right.
is a little bit more pure. My language is better. I don't smoke no more. I don't drink. I'm just in a better spiritual place right now, to where it'll be more authentic spiritually, and allow the people who read it to receive it on a more spiritual aspect. So the autobiography is going to be actually 3 books. It's a trilogy. The first book is going to be called Acquitted. The second book is going to be called The Backslider, and the third book is going to be called Redemption.
Wow. That's dope.
So it's
I'm
all
trying. I said that was confirmation because I actually was watching that whole thing go down live on the page with Chastity and everybody commenting on it, and
mm, mm,
so that definitely was confirmation from the Most High to do what you got to do, you know.
mm,
So
mm.
that's dope. But yeah, I want to definitely read the book, and whenever you're ready, man, we can come up here and or any other platform I got, man, or anywhere I'm around, we can help and push that book, man, and help market your stuff, man, and whatever else you got going on, man. But I can't wait to
Well,
read it.
I really want to have a conversation with you offline, because with everything that you're doing, I want to be able to see how I can add value to it. Like, I know
Right.
that God aligns people up for a reason, either a season or a reason, and I know for us it's more of a reason. And I
Absolutely.
have a lot of things that I might be able to do to contribute to add value.
Well,
I
we
told you.
spoke offline too the other day,
Mhm.
and we was talking about the trucking industry. And I told you that I partnered up with Red Light Trucking as
Okay.
a part owner. I invested in a Red Light logistics dispatching company.
Mhm.
So I invested in a dispatching company, and then I started a trucking company, Crux Carriers, about 2 weeks ago. So now I'm in the process of buying 2 semis and 2 reefers, the refrigerator uh, trailers. So this is what I was
Right.
telling you about the dispatching. We're starting to do it now. We're doing Zoom calls, and I wanted to invite you on a Zoom. I
Okay.
actually was supposed to have been on one tonight, but I couldn't get on because I had to do this. But we get on Zoom calls, and we're starting to learn how to dispatch in the trucking industry. Um, and that's something you can do from home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just
Right.
like this, you need about 2, 3 monitors. You need one for like the weather, the load boards and stuff.
Mhm.
Fax machine, a calculator, a couple of phones, cell phone. You in the business. You in the game. So
Mhm.
that's why the trucking industry for the past month, even Cynthia is another person that I spoke about, and is coming on with the dispatching. We're gonna just start trying to, like I said, do for self.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Do for self, man. I don't know which way the world is going. I don't even know which way it's turning no more. So
Mhm.
that's why I'm trying to like uh, just do for self, basically, to
Right.
sum it all up. You know what I mean? I'm not going to even break it down, but I'm trying to do for self. But so yeah, so we're gonna definitely chop it up with that. Tomorrow's Wednesday, so we'll be on a Zoom call. I'll send you the link to
Okay.
get on with that. Have your pen and paper. So, and like I told you before, go on YouTube and start to actually watch truck dispatching 101 and things like that. Very interesting. This is one of the industries that I'm in, and I'm like, I want to learn more. You know, I haven't found nothing like that made me feel like that in a long time. You know what I'm saying? So that's good. I'm trying to share it. I'm excited about it. But so the redemption story is a beautiful thing, man. I know we're gonna wrap it up in about 5-10 minutes, man. But I want to definitely salute you, man. And you know, just as a black man, and to see you fighting whatever. Let me put it like this: it's hard to have a balance, right? Like that's the thing about a man that people don't know about us is we got a lot of stuff, you know, we dealing with too, and trying to keep a balance, like trying to be like a dad, a husband, a brother, a uncle, you know, a boss, and employee, whatever it is you're trying to be. You know, you're trying to, you know, be there for your homeboys and be there for your mother, and you know what I mean. You're just trying to keep a balance. You know what I mean. You might have kids in different households. A lot of guys, that's about my age, probably on their second and third marriage, where they might have kids, and you know, just trying to keep a balance, and no time for anybody to say, "Yo, you all right?
Mm.
You all right today? How you feeling, champ?" So that's why I start to call some of the homies sporadic. Yeah, I called you the other day. Because sometime, man, that one phone call could just talk a nigga off the ledge, man. One phone call could just talk a nigga off the ledge. So this is what I'm saying about therapy. This is therapy for us, King. Flatbush famous, baby. You know what I mean? We're gonna bring a community of people back together that share the same mindset. And like I said before, nobody in Flatbush can rep me the way I can rep me. That's how I feel. And then people wasn't repping my people right. So I'm repping for everybody. And we're gonna rep together. I'm not Flatbush famous. We all Flatbush famous. You Flatbush famous, baby. Christopher Holmes, man.
So I got some words I want to part with.
No, we still got time. They know. Listen, we got time. You can do it. This is your thing. Get it. Say what you got to say. You close us out.
So the weak go to the strong to survive. The strong go to the wise to survive, and the wise go to God. As long as we allow God to govern our lives, we'll have that balance. God is the one that allows us to have that balance between parenthood, between marriage, between business. God is the one that allows us to have that balance.
And you're right, because that's the only way that I'm doing. Me personally, I got quite a few things going on, and some days I just drop things. I don't even pay no attention because I can't. To be honest with you, I can't. I said to myself, well, you can do, let's say, 10 things. You can have 10 things going on at one time. You can do a little bit, you know, every hour. No, it's not like that, because the mind frame, the mindset got to, when you say you focusing on trucking. If I'm focusing on trucking today, how the hell am I gonna focus on real estate today? I mean, focus on it. I might could check something and send an email right quick, but to focus on it. So if I'm trying to learn both these industries, bro, you know what I'm saying? I'm just figuring out the game over here, and now I figured it out. Now that I got in that game, oh, there's a bunch of private lending. There's money sitting around. They're trying to give away. You just got to have your shit together. Oh, well, I can get my shit together.
Right.
But you gotta have a direct plan for the money. You know, even when the guys did the loans that just went by PPP and whatever you did, however you got it, people didn't. Some of my guys personally didn't have no plan for the money. And they showed me, yo, I got 175K. I got 95K. Man, them dudes ain't got a penny today. I'm talking what I saw with my own eyes. My partners. You understand what I'm saying? Dudes I know that be with me. Ran through it, son. No plan for the money. Now, because all the stuff Trump put in place are still in place. And now these private lenders, everybody's so much loopholes. Everybody's trying to give away the money. But we don't know how to get it. We don't know how to get it. A young lady asked me, and I don't fix credit. I just know the person really good to do.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying? And he burnt out, so he don't really want to deal with no bottom feeders. He don't want to deal with gonna be crying about the fee. He just want to deal with people that, okay, once we fix it, can we go get a loan? Because they still want to get money with you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Can I put
Right.
you with Penn Fed, a different credit union? Like if you got money, you can get these broker people in the middle to kind of set you up right. Because somebody might have an underwriter somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Somebody might have an underwriter at the bank. You know, when I just slide. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
But unless you in a position to financially make that happen, that the rest ain't gonna happen because they trying to eat too. Everybody got to hustle. Before they went to MetroCard, the nigga in the token booth was trying to sell you some tokens on the side if you could transit. Everybody got to hustle at their job, right?
True story. True story.
So now I'm finding out other shit, and then the people that I'm rocking with, before I really got to know them, I gave them way more credit and way more smarts than I thought they had. But when you're coming from the streets, you come in humble, so you think everybody's smarter than you. You know what I'm saying? You automatically know you coming from a foul place. So when you step in another arena, a bank, anywhere, you're intimidated because you swear everybody in here know more than you and everybody's smarter than you because you got a name tag. And then you really start to
observe.
say, God got me, so I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna let it rip. And you start figuring out these people not smarter than you. They're not more intelligent than me. They haven't been through more shit than me. They can't stand in a box as long as I can stand in it and take the abuse that I can take to be successful. They can't do that like me. They had a fraction of my life. These niggas are hang up, nigga. These crackers are hang up if they had to walk one day in our Air Forces. You feel what I'm saying?
True
You're
story.
not built like me. I had to get that confidence, Chris, on the job, like while I'm doing stuff. And I ain't got nobody say, yeah, you can do it home. I ain't got nobody, it's just me and him. And all I keep hearing him saying, that's how
That's
I
all
want
you
it.
need.
That's
That's
all
all
you
you
need.
need.
That's all I want. That's how I want. It's me and you. All right, let's rock. I mean, you know what I mean? It's working for me. You know? Yeah, man, it's real talk here, man. Like I said, we're gonna have a we're gonna have a real unadulterated conversation tonight and let the spirit lead. You know what I mean?
It was an honor to be on this platform, man. I really love what you're doing. You know, your inspiration without even realizing it is being done effortlessly because that's who you are, you know.
I appreciate it, King, man. And like I said, we're gonna talk offline. This thing is growing, and I want to grow a community of people where we can have some type of support for each other, even if it's just mental support. Like I said, just kind of getting in the group text sometime and just checking on guys, and you know what I mean.
Right.
Putting these plays together, but I actually want to start putting together some kind of workshops. And I actually what I'm going to start doing is doing these little corporate mixers where we might pick a loft in the city, like Manhattan or Brooklyn, Dumbo, and just invite around 50, 80, 100 people, you know, pretty much bring your business card type of shit, little DJs and mixers, and just kind of, you know what I mean? You know, graphic designers mixing with, you know, A&Rs, mixing with singers, mixing with street, you know what I mean? Just everybody just kind of mixing. And as a couple other events that we're going to be attached to, but I want to do some positive stuff to be able to bring us all together. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people doing some good business, and I swear I'm trying to bring it all together because the people you're looking for, they in here, and the people that's looking for you, they in. You know what I'm trying to say? Like but nobody's really networking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Especially in Flatbush, and like people that's from Flatbush, and you know, I'm doing stuff outside of Flatbush because I'm from Flatbush, but I just want to see if we can change one person's life, bro. Just one, man. Just one. If I just one. All glory be to God, man.
All be to God. That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the life mission we on, King. You know what I mean? So anything negative, any devil, any demon will not prosper. You know what I'm saying? It will not prosper.
Dirt on our shoulders.
That's it.
Real.
You know, it's only up from here. It's only up from here, brother. You know what I mean? So we're gonna wrap this up. Roach, super producer, he in the building, man. We got a late night session in. Christopher Holmes, my man Chris, man, it was a pleasure having you. Salute to
Pleasure
you,
to be
King.
here. Salute,
Glad that
King.
we was able to have a real good conversation just amongst two men. Being able to be vulnerable in front of everybody and show them that, you know, if we could do it, everybody could do it. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Tell these young boys, put the guns down, pick the books up.
That's right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Learn how to code or something. You know what I mean? Start a podcast. I don't know. Yo, we out, man. Yo, Flatbush Famous, man. I'm going to call this episode 4. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say it's episode 4 right here, man. It's going to be episode 4. I haven't gave no other episode a number yet, and we got quite a few, but this is going to be episode 4, man. My pleasure having you once again. Flatbush Famous, man. Chris, we signing out.
Peace, King.
Peace.
What you tell them? Yeah. Pain come and get a gift wrap. Yeah. Successes only took it like a kid now. Up and then wide. I'm going across the Brooklyn Bridge. They baby come to Flatbush.